Okay, so welcome to the this little session. We're looking at sleep, and I'm going to thank you for taking time to come and join me. Okay, good. So welcome, colleagues. Really pleased to have you here joining me this evening. We've got a Sleep and Restore course. I wanted to, I've had a lot of people asking me about the Sleep and Restore course and asking a few questions. So this is an opportunity to tell you a little bit about the course and answer some of the questions that you might be having, which are maybe holding you back from signing up for the course. And also, I'm going to do a little bit of teaching, give you a couple of tips before the course even starts, a little bit of learning on sleep and sleep problems, and I'm going to explain about beta testers. And we've sent out an email, should have gone out this evening, to our database. You may or may not have seen it, and looking for some beta testers for this course. So we've had some colleagues sign up already, and people who are members of our Platinum All Access annual pass have got a free ticket to this course, which starts tomorrow. But we are looking for beta testers, and we've got 29 slots left. So the first question is, okay, on this session, we're going to cover what's in the Sleep and Restore course, what is a beta tester and why do you want beta testers, and how can I find out more? So, and a bit of teaching on rhythms, and I'll be asking you a question. So you can having a think about this. What's more important for your sleep pattern? Is it the time you get up in the morning, or is it the time that you go to bed? Which is more important? People have heard of the circadian rhythm, but there's some other rhythms as well, and I'm going to come back to that. Okay, so which is more important for you to be good at? Is it your getting up time or your going to bed time in terms of your sleep, your quality of sleep? So I've sent out a series of emails. You hopefully will have seen them, talking about and raising awareness of the challenges that can happen with sleep if we're not getting enough, and especially if we're not getting enough of the good quality sleep. And it's all to raise awareness because it's quite a big deal for us doctors. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're a doctor. We are the fourth biggest group in terms of people's roles and jobs. Doctors are the fourth biggest group in the country to suffer regular chronic problems with sleep, either not getting enough or the wrong type. And there are lots of health implications from that. Not getting enough sleep is a source of chronic stress. You get raised levels of cortisol, and that leads to, is a risk factor for lots of other health problems, not least cardiovascular disease and raised blood pressure. There's quite a lot of evidence that if you're not getting enough sleep, your blood pressure will be raised. You have an increased carbohydrate craving because of the altered ratio of the hormones that regulate appetite and satiety and hunger. So ghrelin is one of the hormones you'll have heard of, and that ratio is disrupted if you're not getting adequate sleep, and so people tend to get increased insulin secretion, increased carbohydrate cravings, and so there's a link to weight gain if you're chronically sleep deprived and have a chronic sleep debt. Weight gain and can push people towards type 2 diabetes. It's said that if people are not if somebody gets 4 hours of sleep, their cognitive performance the next day and focus and concentration is akin to being mildly intoxicated with alcohol. Not getting enough sleep is a risk factor for anxiety and depression, and it can be an early warning sign for serious mental illness. And so sleep is very important. There's a whole sort of cleaning and removal of waste products that goes on. There's a whole sort of filtration system. There's no lymphatics in the brain, the brain sits in the CSF, and there's a whole your brain cells actually shrink overnight while you're asleep, and that creates space for the CSF to come in and sort of wash the cells clean. The cells secrete the rubbish, and all of that gets washed away overnight as you sleep. So if you're not getting enough sleep, that washing away of all the waste products doesn't occur, and that's why a lot of people can feel groggy and muzzy-headed if they have had not enough sleep or poor sleep. So just giving you some little nuggets relating to what we've been talking about in the email series. If you haven't seen the emails, go and dig out your emails and have a look. So beta testers, why do we want beta testers? So you may or may not be familiar with the concept of beta testers. So if something is produced, so Mike Scanlon, nurse consultant in mental health, he's delivered our mindfulness-based stress reduction courses. We've done 5 courses now. We finished one earlier in the spring. Very successful again and very worthwhile. Mike has also taught a sleep course as a sort of physical thing, but we haven't done it as webinars. So this is the first time that we're running this sleep course, Sleep and Restore course, as online webinars, as well as downloadable audios to listen to, and a workbook and a course manual. And there's going to be a series of 5 live webinars, and you can attend the live webinar or watch the recording. So why beta testers? Well, the term beta tester means, once you've produced something, you want feedback. You need people to test it and give you feedback on what's good, what's not so good, what could we improve upon, what could we do better. So all feedback is welcome, positive and negative. And so Mike's reminded me to, and I didn't really push this in the email series, that we are looking for beta testers. So we've got 29 slots left for beta testers. So if you'd like one of those slots, you can go to the course page and sign up for, I think it's over 60% discount as a beta tester. So the condition is, as a beta tester, that you will give us feedback on what you think's good, what you think's not good, what do you particularly want, if there are particular things you want in the course. I mean, Mike's delivered this course lots of times as a physical course, and so he's got all the content, but he's keen to make the course really exactly what you want. So as a beta tester, you can give Mike feedback at the beginning and after each session, and you say, oh, could we have a bit more of this? Could you explain this a bit more? Could we look at that in a different way? So that's the role of a beta tester. You're testing the course for us because it's the first time we're delivering it live, and we want to make it the best it can be. If we can make this a successful course, we can offer it again in other years. And as I say, we're always on a constant drive to do the best I can and do the best we can at webinars for GPs, for you busy GPs. So that's why beta testers, you'd have an active role in the course, you get a discounted ticket, we need your feedback. So we've got 29 slots left. Obviously we don't want too big a group if we're wanting that feedback. So there are 29 spots left, and if you act probably the sooner the better. I would do it this evening or as soon as you watch this. And if you go to the page and you're still able to click the join link, then it means there's still a spot left. So I will share the link for signing up in a moment. Actually, I'll share it now, and I will come back to the teachy bit. So webinarsforgps.com/sleep-and-restore 2019. That's that is the page for the for signing up. Okay. So harmful effects of sleep, I've touched on. I've already touched on that. Lots of harmful effects, physical and psychological. Ideally, we want to sleep like a baby. Do we? I heard a bit of a corny joke about that. Somebody said they wanted to sleep like a baby, and their colleague in the pub said, "You mean you want to cry all night and wet your pants or wet the bed?" And they said no. So I guess the term sleeping like a baby doesn't mean crying all night and wetting the bed. It means sleeping soundly, doesn't it? We want good quality sleep. We know how good it feels when you have a good night's sleep. And our patients frequently consult us regarding sleep problems. So this course is for you as a doctor to help your patients without just thinking the only thing I've got to offer is a prescription. And we have concerns about prescriptions, the habituation of hypnotics. This course will give you other tools that you can use for your patients. You can also use them for yourself. So you get a double benefit from attending the course. There are things you can use for yourself to help your own well-being, and that will have a knock-on positive impact on your efficacy at work, your performance, how grumpy and irritable you're going to be, and that'll have a positive knock-on effect in terms of your home life as well as your work. So it'll have you. The idea of doing the course is for your own personal benefit, but obviously for your patients. So have you ever been like this, awake in the night, something is stopping you sleeping? Usually it's stuff on your mind. A troubled mind cannot sleep. So how much sleep do we need? Now, I paid to go on British Association for Psychopharmacology sleep CPD course last year, and so I've got a couple of slides just to share, just to give you a little bit of background information on sleep. So you'll know this already. Sleep's very variable from person to person, but typically 7 to 8 hours is common. Less than 5 hours causes problems with performance in normal young volunteers in the lab, and that's there's a reference to the paper on the screen there. More than 10 hours sometimes causes sleep drunkenness, so you can sleep too much and it can give you problems. So too much or too little is a problem. Many people prefer 2 sleep periods, so that's the sort of idea that's popular in certain parts of Europe, with a siesta after lunch. Some people use naps to catch up. Many normal people have a shorter than they ought to sleep on weekdays and make up the sleep debt at weekends. Now, in one of my emails, I did refer to this, and I pointed out that your cognitive function may get back to normal by doing the sleep catch-up, but physiologically, your insulin resistance, the carb cravings, the consequences of that does not reverse when you catch up on your sleep debt on a weekend. So you're kidding yourself if you think you can avoid all the health consequences of running a sleep debt through the week by catching up at the weekend. That's not the case. So check out the email. There's an email specifically on that in this series. Why do we sleep when we do? So it's a coincidence of 3 processes. We've heard of the circadian rhythm from medical school, the body clock. There's also a wake-dependent drive linked to homeostasis, and that's related to the time since your last sleep. So that's linked to the time when you got up. Okay, so the longer the time since you woke up, that drive increases. I'll show you a slide about that. Then there's also a process relating to low arousal, so relaxing and winding down. And obviously you can override that if you're having too much screen time, whether it's TV, computer, mobile phone, or bright lights in your home, in your bathroom, brushing your teeth with a bright light on. Russell Foster, who's a sleep scientist, a circadian rhythm neuroscientist in Oxford, Russell Foster says that's the worst thing you can do, is brush your teeth in a brightly lit bathroom just before you're trying to relax and wind down. That sort of light intensity is really not good for your eyes and your sleep state. So the sleepy, the circadian rhythm, you've got sleepy and not sleepy. You can see it will oscillate over a 24-hour period, and you'll see obviously we are usually sleepy when it is dark. That is the natural state. We have receptors. 1 in 100 of the cones in the back of your eye respond to whether it's light or dark, in terms of messaging that goes to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and even people who have lost their sight through disease will still have the triggering of being sleepy when it's dark because of these light sensitive cones. 1 in 100 of the cones have this this role. So they're not involved in vision per se, but they're involved in the distinction between light and dark for the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is the body clock. Okay, that is your body clock. So circadian process, the idea is to have a sleepy when it's dark, which is partly why shift workers have so many health problems. And night shift work has been listed, I think, by the World Health Organization as a class 2 carcinogen because the effect on your immune system, the negative effect on your immune system from getting poor quality sleep, because a night shift worker is trying to sleep in the daytime when it's bright, and they're trying to be awake at night when it's dark, and it is not a natural process. So your body clock won't change. And so chronic night shift work is a class 2 carcinogen. Scary stuff. So circadian process, and that explains why jet lag occurs. So if you go travel from west to east, so if you have a holiday in the USA, fly back to the UK, you will be having your sensation according to your body clock that it is time to sleep, when actually it's still light. And it takes 1 day per hour of time zone shift. So if you shift 8 hours, 8 time zones, that's going to take your body clock 8 days to catch up. Okay. So the the weight dependent drive, the homeostasis, it's been referred to as the S process. This is, you can see on the green, that steadily rising green arc from about 8 a.m. That occurs every day, and if you have a nap in the late afternoon or evening, you will interrupt that rise, and it will be staggered, and then it will start to rise again, which is why having a nap in the late afternoon or evening will tend to interrupt your going to bed sleepiness state. So this comes back to what I was saying at the beginning. If you regularly get up at a certain time, you're regularly triggering this weight dependent drive starting at the same time. If you sleep in, so instead of 8 o'clock, you're sleeping in 2 hours, that rise, that arc is going to be 2 hours later rising. And so that's why I asked you, what is more important, the time you wake up and get up, or the time that you go to bed? And according to the S process model, it's the time you wake up. So having a consistent getting up time is actually really important for you having a good sleep pattern and getting to sleep well at bedtime. So you've got an overlap of the circadian and homeostatic drives to sleep on there. So the pink is the circadian rhythm. You can see how that's highest when you're expected to be sleepy, and the green is the S process, and that is at its lowest, and then they cross in the morning, and the S process steadily increases through the day. So we know that high arousal, alertness and worry can override these natural body processes. So worry and stimulants, whether that's caffeine or other stimulants, nicotine, will often overdrive these other drives to sleep. And low arousal can overcome the other drives to be awake. So things like boredom, if there's a boring meeting, and sedating drugs can overcome the wakefulness drive. So that is the aim that we all would like to aspire to, getting good quality sleep. And you can find out more information about our course, the Sleep and Restore course, webinarsforgps.com/sleep and restore 2019. And this course starts on the Wednesday the 8th with the first webinar is 8 p.m. and there are weekly webinars for 5 weeks. You will get emailed a login and access, and it's when you go to that page you'll see it's only £77 instead of £197. So as a beta tester you're saving over 60%. Instead of £197, which is the full price of the course, you can get access for £77. So I'm going to I'll put the link in the comments underneath this video so that you can sign up if you want to go to the direct order page. But please go to that page and sign up for the course. Please do have a go at being a beta tester. So just a couple of questions before we finish. Some people are asking, okay, what's in it for me? So obviously we put on CPD courses. So the Sleep and Restore course is CPD. You get 10 CPD credits. And if you obviously go through the sessions and either watch the live webinars or watch the recordings, and there'll be a feedback and learning point survey at the end as per usual, and then you'll be able to get a CPD certificate for 10 credits. Colleagues are asking, is this all just theory? No, it's not just theory. There are practical takeaways for you and your patients. We don't do just theory at webinars for GPs. So there will be audios that you can download, will give you access to, that you can offer to your patients, you can share with your patients, and they can use these for themselves. You can use them for yourselves. There are strategies that we'll teach you, simple things, simple little mental exercises that you can do that we will teach you. And again, you can share with your patients. It's very practical course, 10 CPD credits. The webinars, okay, another question, when are the webinars? They're all on a Wednesday evening starting on the 8th of May. So 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th, and the first Wednesday into June. Is that the 5th? Anyway, it's the first Wednesday in June. You'll see. The details are all on the page, webinarsforgps.com/sleep-and-restore-2019, as you can see on the screen there. Another question, are there any guarantees? Is there a refund policy? Of course, we always offer a guarantee. I'm taking all the risks for you. This course has a 14-day it has a 14-day was it a 30-day? Actually, it's a 30-day. We're so confident that you'll get value from this course. It's a 30-day guarantee, which means that you can take part in almost the whole course. And if you don't like what it is, email office@webinarsforgps.com. Details are on the course page there. You can email office and get a full refund, no questions asked. You just say you don't think you've got great value, fine. So 30 days. So I'm taking all the risk. I know that you'll get great value. So yes, 30-day guarantee for a 5-week course. Another question people commonly had is, how long do I get access to the resources after the end of the course? Well, you will get long-term access, at least a year, probably longer. We don't suddenly cut off your access to the course. If you've signed up, you've paid for that resource, you will have ongoing access. I can't say forever. How long is forever? But certainly the long term, the aim is all the time that we're running webinars for GPs, you will have access to that course. Obviously, you'll be able to download a lot of the resources, but you'll be able to go into the members area long term if you need to find resources again and download them again. So ongoing access, your access doesn't finish after the course finishes. Another question a colleague asked, I think I've already covered this, you know, can I use it for myself and my family and friends, or am I supposed to just use these resources for patients? Yes, you can share these resources with whoever you feel appropriate. That's what we're keen for you to do. You may have colleagues in your practice who are challenged by the workload and the current situation in general practice. Share the resources, tell them about the course, If you're doing the course, if you've got an in-house learning time, protected learning time, pass on the teaching, share the resources. We're very generous at Webinars for GPs. We're not stingy. Share the resources where, as far and wide as you feel you would like to. We're keen for people, especially colleagues and their patients, to benefit. So 5 weeks course, webinars, downloads, audios to listen to, little exercises to do. Mike's a very good teacher. We always have great feedback from his mindfulness courses. Very pleased that he's doing this Sleep and Restore course. And because it's the first time we're doing it, we're looking for beta testers. So would you like to be a beta tester? Would you like to be a beta tester? Go to webinarsforgps.com, sleep-and-restore-2019. You get all the course details, and you will be able to sign up. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll consider becoming a beta tester and help us make this a really great course. Thanks for watching. Share with your friends. Bye for now.